Hi there, and hello, and welcome back to another day of Love and Action Daily Boost. I'm Dr. Flo, your online coach and mentor who helps bold dreamers follow their bliss every day by using their time, talent, and treasure for good on the planet. I'm joined on Sundays by the lovely Tara Praolo. She can introduce herself to you.
I'm Tara Prado. I'm your resident white-facing biracial multi-passionate musician, and I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about. And today, I'm a Commanders fan and a Bills fan. No, not Bills, Chiefs. That's today. I'm a Commanders fan and a Chiefs fan. That's all you need to know. Okay. It's football. It's football. You got to root for the right teams, folks.
Yes, we are also in National Peanut Brittle Day. For those of you who like that yummy protein punched gooey goodness. Happy National Spouse Day for those of us who have partners in our lives. Happy Dental Drill Appreciation Day.
Absolutely not. That never appreciated. Never appreciated.
Happy International Customs Day. Happy International Environmental Education Day. Happy Lotus 123 Day for those of you who remember that before we got Google Sheets in our lives. Happy National Green Juice Day to those of you who celebrate. One more time.
What goes in your green juice?
Oh my gosh. In my green juice, I want spinach. I want celery. I want broccoli. I want green apple. What about you?
I don't know that I've ever had green juice. I don't know. But Piper's current purees have spinach, apple, and something else in them. So those are green.
Yeah, these days are, of course, built around consumerism and capitalism. I'll read it. Health food and drink producer Evolution Fresh started National Green Juice Day as a way of encouraging those who made a New Year's resolution to stay or get healthy. The company suggests consumers drink green juices to promote good health. Green juices consist of a variety of pressed vegetables and fruits, making them healthy as an alternative to other foods. Evolution Fresh partners with HelloFresh to provide home delivery of fresh green juices. So there's your free promo. But that's what that's all about. I like green juices, but I have to have them immediately blended. I do not like them if they sit on countertop and turn deeper green.
I am that way with all sorts of like smoothie juices. Like I don't want them lukewarm. You know, like immediate consumption or not at all.
Or not at all. Yeah. Icy,
Not at all.
icy or bust.
Yeah.
I brought inspiration today, y'all, before I take us back and forward into life. So get your time machine handy because you're going to need it. But first, I love being there for friends and family while staying true to myself. I don't let others' energy or mood affect my own. To help a friend in a hole, I don't need to jump in the hole with them. Simply reach out a hand. It is up to them to do the rest. This is my own energy. I love being there for friends and family while staying true to myself. I don't let others' energy or moods affect my own. To help a friend in a hole, I don't need to jump in the hole with them. Simply reach out a hand, and it's up to them to do the rest. Tara and I are aligned around this card in that sometimes we take on the ilk and the ills of the world. I cried most of last year about children in Gaza. Now I am weeping publicly and privately for Charles McNair and everyone who's scared of the current incoming regime. How do we, Tara, be present for our families and friends without being consumed by it all? How do you maintain your own energy when literally our phones are going bring, 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 and it's either some kind of international crisis or a friendly personal crisis that's hanging out on the other end? What do you do with that?
Right. First, I want to say that like this time of year for companies that I work for, what I'm working on not absorbing is other people's stress. The companies that I work for, they are preparing their tax documents, which is, it's not a huge, it's not the biggest task, but it's also due by January 31st. Like you got to get them in the mail, otherwise, like people can come for you. And so, and I also have been doing a student section, of which I'm very proud of y'all this year. Those of you listening, which is none of you, but those of you listening, I only got one request for a late application this year, and anyway, so I'm working on not absorbing the stress. So here's what I did this morning, because I don't think I consciously did it, but no, I did consciously do it. I saw an email from somebody that was like, I'm going to need this today, right now, on a Sunday. And I was like, so I put my phone
No,
right back into do not disturb,
you're not. On
right
a
back in
Sunday?
on a Sunday, child. I do not
No,
work
you
Sundays.
don't. You don't need anything immediately on a
Right.
Saturday or a Sunday.
And my email signature, those of you that email me on actually all of my inboxes, it says that I monitor the inboxes from 8 to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and I don't talk to you on the weekends. I don't want to talk to you on the weekends. I mean, I do want to talk to my friends. Dr. Flo is a friend on the weekend. He's a business partner during the week. You know what I mean? Uh, like, like, and even this morning, I was like, oh my gosh, we haven't scheduled Boost this week. I'll just send him an email. He's going to respond to me tomorrow. We have a meeting tomorrow. Like, who cares? Um, but so I put my phone back in do not disturb. I hung out with my kid. We made breakfast together. Piper helped me with the pancakes this morning. And yeah, there's a picture on Facebook. It's very cute.
What does that
Um,
look like to be a baby and helping with the pancakes? Are we dropping
really, it just
blueberries? Are we dropping chocolate chips? Are we dropping the whole like oil
it's
on the
really
pan?
just
What are we
kind of
doing?
like looking on at this stage. They got to front face and like wander around the kitchen, and like, because they're at a different height level when they do that. So they were like, oh my gosh, what's happening in here? So I just I enjoyed a morning. And then when I, you know, got myself together with Farmville and all that stuff, I was like, oh, okay, now I feel like working. And so then I went into the computer and I worked. And I think, checking in with yourself, and Finch does a good job of this. Although sometimes I feel a little pressure from Finch too. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you right now. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you, girl. Go back to sleep. Go on your adventure in Taiwan. Mine's in Taiwan right now.
Sometimes it can feel like one more checklist system to go through.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what do I do? My rule of thumb is that I just turn off my devices. This morning, what did we watch this morning, babe? A movie we both like that I don't even.
I know it was World War Z.
Oh, we watched World War Z this morning. Like, we very rarely turn on the TV together in the morning and like watch a movie full on together. And we did that this morning. It was just like a moment of there's nobody else, there's us in this house. We're just chilling. We didn't rush out to go grocery shopping. We didn't rush out to like go get something fixed. I didn't look around for my freaking wallet that nobody knows where it is, including myself. Don't panic, y'all. Don't,
Still?
child, I haven't looked for it yet. I just figure if nobody's spending money, it's got to be somewhere in my house. So I just am going with it.
The angel said, "Do not fear."
The,
So you're not.
Herbert came to me last night on in the morning of it was 3 a.m. I think that's a demon time, but whatever, it's fine. I don't look at it.
And he said it's gonna be all right. You're gonna find
Exactly.
that wallet eventually underneath baby clothes or
Right.
diaper bags
I'm
or
gonna
life.
find it in my organized mess. And so like it's just checking in with yourself. It's like, what do you need in this moment? Do you need to be hyper online? Do you need to scroll? I like also this morning, for like the first time in a very long time. Now, Dr. Flo does this all the time, but I went to Spotify and it gave me like a list of playlists, and one of them was like winter chill, and I turned that on, and that's what me and Piper were making pancakes to and dancing in the kitchen together. And like I don't often do that, just because I don't like sound. my brain gets very full of sound, so I don't often need sound to come at me in the
We
morning.
are artists, visual artists, and performant. Uh, I don't know why I led with visual, but we do visual in the social media
Yes.
aspect. But visual artists and also performing artists and uh, artists that deal in the auditory realm of life, we often, when we're not working, like extreme silent environments
Right.
to the chagrin of our partners, because they like to emit noise and to be expressive, and we're constantly around. I've got bands in my ears all day. Tara's got people finding middle C and warming up and warming down and singing their rap. And so we do like the quiet, but this morning you took a different approach. That's
Yeah.
good. Change is good.
Yeah. Now, will I do it at all this week? It depends on how stressed out I get this week or how much I'm perceiving that I'm taking off of other people and giving back. And yeah, I just, for me, it's checking in with myself, seeing what I need, as opposed to jumping into chattering with somebody. Like even there was a message from Dr. Flo in Telegram that could have been a panic message, but it wasn't actually a panic message. But I didn't find it until this morning at 10. Like I didn't even go through all my notifications. And so when I found the notification, I was like, wait, has this man been in the hospital for 12 hours?
She panicked because I was playing Roblox last night. Roblox, not Robux, are what you buy in the platform. I was playing Roblox, and I just went to take a tour through the hospital. And I ended up walking all the way through and laying even on the X-ray table. That would have really alarmed you if I had sent you the pictures of me
Well,
laid out on the X-ray table.
and the little picture shows up in notifications. It just shows up as like a generic picture. But what it was captioned was, I went to the hospital. And I was like, you did
I
what?
did. It was just on the game before I also went to play with SpongeBob, before I went to
Oh,
play with
SpongeBob.
Sonic and all these things. Yeah.
SpongeBob.
Yesterday I felt very, very in my crown, which is where I'm going to start today to go forward. I felt very, very connected to universal love yesterday. I watched a lot of smutty television, Showtime kind of shows yesterday. That bled into this morning where I watched, even yesterday, I watched and was introduced to this show that you may have heard of called Fairly Odd Parents. Have you heard of this cartoon called The Fairly Odd
Okay, yes.
Parents?
I have watched it. I don't always understand it. Like it's like it's one of those things where either the show is more advanced than my brain, or I just need to dumb down my brain in order to watch the
You have a
show.
master's degree. You have a master's degree. I know, but if you jump in like cold, it is overwhelming. So I had to consult with the internet and also with my loving partner, who is a grown child, and kid at heart, Black Boy Joy. And essentially, the premise is that there's a kid who is consistently neglected by his parents. And his parents are his actual birth parents are a bit naive and all over the place. And they always leave him with a babysitter named Vicky, who is very, very mean spirited and evil. And because his parents have left him with Vicky, he has these two fairy godparents. They're a couple named Cosmo and Wanda who grant his wishes. And the whole premise is that sometimes what you wish for is what you really want, but most of the time, the things that Timmy Turner is wishing for are not things that you want to truly come to fruition. I love it. I love it for its simplicity. I love the drawing of it because you know that I'm very finicky and particular about the way in which animation's drawn on my cartoons.
You are. Yeah, Jack Frost. Don't suggest Jack Frost to Dr. Flo. He does not like
Or,
the
or that
snowman.
other, or Polar Express.
Oh, I love Polar Express.
Yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
not. But yeah, I'm very finicky in particular. But yesterday I was tapped into interconnection, the power of cuddles and universal love. It did connect me with humanity and the greater whole, which is what we're supposed to be doing on Crown Chakra Day. Yesterday's mantra was I know and I understand. Another one that you can use to help you in life is I'm connected to universal love and I share it freely. I'm connected to universal love and I share it freely. A lot of folks, and I've been guilty of this if I want to go into the guilt route, but I have done this in my life and I've guilted myself in the past for this. Um, I have hoarded the love. I've had the opportunity to say a pleasant good morning and I decided to say nothing. I had the opportunity to step in and to help someone, and I just kind of stood back and trusted the flow of their lives to move them forward. If I don't help them, then someone in life will. Well, what if I really believed that there was a universal connection to love, that there was an infinite abundance of love in that, and if there was no scarcity thought around the love, who would I share it with? And how much of it would I share? And so, as we come up from the root chakra, which we're back in today, and then come up through our sacral about our feelings, our solar plexus about what we're doing, our heart chakra about what we're loving, our throat chakra about what we're speaking, which is going to be very, very important for the next 4 years. But also more important than that, what are you seeing with your third eye, which Tara led us up and through. And then also, after you have all of those feelings and doings and loving energies happening inside of you, what does it bring you to an inner understanding and awareness of? Does it make you want to volunteer for a global cause? Does it make you want to spread positivity online? Does it make you want to practice random acts of kindness with strangers? Does it make you want to put your love in action? And I just want to, before we flip over and I hand it over to Tara to take us back down into the root, it's like a cycle. Every 7 days, we rise up to the tippy top of our energy, and then we just descend like one of those amusement park rides right down to the bottom again so that we can just stay grounded. We have to know in our lives, Tara, how to be both on the mountaintop, which is what Saturdays represent for us of our experience, and also how to be in the valley. And when you're in the valley or you're going through a challenging point in your life, or you simply just don't want to move forward, maybe there's a blockage or a resistance, or a lot of people right now, myself included, are emitting this energy of tired. We survived the longest nights of the year, right? We are coming now into where our days are going to be getting longer, but it's forced us, some of us, especially, why would they put such a dark political moment in the darkest part of the year? What were the forefathers thinking beyond the fact that they didn't want us even there in the first place? And so, so as we come into this awareness and this knowledge, it's important that, okay, now that I know, now that I see on Friday, and now that I know and understand what's happening in the world around me on Saturday, how is that going to inform who I am? And Tara's going to take us from that inner understanding and awareness back into a grounded place with her share today as well. I hope you got the link.
Yes, I have it. I'm in the dark. So first, y'all, we are, we have been walking for 4 weeks. I can't even remember what the theme was of last month.
It's felt like 4 months. Last month was Foundation Month.
Setting the
Yeah.
stage for love. And you all know that we have a new system that we're working through this year. Instead of 52 weeks of conscious contact, we are doing 52 weeks of love and action. So while the month hasn't switched over yet, and we're almost to that month switch over, we have switched over in this programming to Love and Community Month. And this is so important, y'all. It's so important. It's so important. This week's theme is the power of listening. The power of listening. I'm gonna read it down, but I'm also gonna say I told Dr. Flo was like, do you have inspo today? I was like, No, girl, my people don't post on the weekends. But anyway, I have been. The other thing I did this morning, I was scrolling through TikTok, and TikTok's been like hinting to me these little things about Hillman TikTok University, which was accidentally created by a real life professor of African American studies named Dr. Barlow. And now they have a whole Discord, and there's like 45 professors, and we're all enrolled in the University of Black Studies. And there's a black lady teaching us Black American Sign Language, and there's a lady teaching us dance. There's Conscious Lee is teaching us the power of argumentation. Shaheem, who we featured on our Adopt a Black Artist, is teaching us drop, which is I can't remember exactly what it is, but some power dynamics and all that stuff. Oh my God, you guys. So the power of listening. And I encourage you, if you are, it was interesting because I saw a video this morning that was like people were like, white people, just leave it alone, leave it alone, leave it alone, leave it alone. And then there was a black person finally who said, actually, they need it more than us. They need and the reasoning behind that is y'all need to sit and listen. Y'all need to sit and listen.
Education has never been more vital, necessary, and critical.
Vital.
Getting people the right information to create positive conditions for everybody has never been more essential. I cannot wait to get the link to that, and also to let people know that Life Clinic, Business Clinic, and Vocal Clinic under Love and Action Network's also in place. Very similar kind of grassroots education, get the people fed spiritually and emotionally and physically this year.
I was so inspired that I might like start a little university something on my own Instagram and my Substack, like, because it's so fun. It's so fun. Like these real life, like people teaching at Howard University, you know, are like teaching us on TikTok their syllabus. Like they have everything. It's amazing. We have advisors. Like we're there together.
Isn't Hillman like the spin off of A Different World, the university he went to? I think that Hillman College is the school that the kids from A Different World went to off of the television show.
Oh, see, that's not. I didn't watch any of those shows.
They've made T-shirts and everything, and letter shirts and stuff all around Hillman. Yeah, that I believe that's where Whitley and all of the kids from that television show, which was a spinoff from the Cosby Show. I'm dating myself because that show was happening. Let's see, A Different World
in the 80s, 90s.
Because you didn't even know Pee-wee either.
A Different World had 6 seasons, and it began in 1987. So a little bit. I was like 4 at the time of its ending.
I'm sorry. I love you.
I'm sorry. I love you. Okay, y'all. Let's get into it. So grounding and stability. Dr. Flo was hinting at this. The root chakra, grounding and stability. We are growing our roots. We are grounding in ourselves and in the earth and in our collective collaboration with each other, because we can't. So we want, like I said, what's the theme? Love and Community Month and the power of listening. We want to be fully present when we're listening to others, offering them a safe and stable space to share. Now, I just want to give an example of yesterday. I went over and reconnected with a friend, and Dr. Flo knows this, I didn't touch my phone. I was nowhere until I got home. Right. And I was listening actively to what had happened in this person's life and what was going on and, you know, all of that. And I'm not saying that necessarily we have to put our phones down, because obviously Dr. Flo and I are very connected on the phone. We've never met in real life. We talk on the phone all the time. But we do try to avoid distractions when, like right now in Daily Boost, right? Like my husband took the baby. We try to avoid those distractions and listen actively to each other in order to...
You know what that is? Because in a world full of distractions and button pushes and stimuli, Holding sacred space with a person and being present to a human is one of the most potent things that you can do right now. Sure, I can have a game of Monopoly Go going here, a Twitch going there, a TikTok going here, a partridge in a pear tree, but to look into my camera and to look into the screen and say, Tara, you are loved and lovable. Your people are loved and lovable. Your dreams are loved and lovable. That's the cat's meow. There used to be a commercial series for MasterCard. I'm dating myself again, where they'd be like, they'd name the prices of all of these different things, and they'd be like, this moment in your life, priceless, you know? And so, how do you put a price on holding space for someone? I think it's one of the greatest gifts you can give to a person, and unfortunately, in the world that we're living in, one of the rarest.
Right. And I think the pausing and stopping to actually listen and be in community with people is the thing. Like right now, and I've said this, I've heard it from many people. Um, the goal is chaos. The goal is confusion. The goal is to try and make us care about every little thing that happens and every little thing that's said so that we don't focus on the actual thing of like living, right? And caring for each other and being present for each other. And it's ripping us actively away from each other. So go
Also,
ahead.
one more thing, because this isn't Deconstruction Junction, but we speak freely in our programs. You also have to realize that under the Underground Railroad paradigm of what we're living in right now, to realize our dreams, there are people who are presenting as friendly but are nefarious. They
Right.
don't want to see you be free. Some of them look like me. Some of them look like Tara. Some of them look like Tara's mother. Some of them look brighter than Tara's mother. I'm not saying that this is a racial thing. I'm just saying that the most true representation of what's been happening to me, even locally over the last 2 years, was told to me by a new collaborator and friendly energy. Where the whole time I've been asking in Lexington, North Carolina, where the resources of hope and help and love have been, and just like in the Wizard of Oz, people have gone, it's that way, you know?
Right.
And that kind of chaos and confusion is intentionally, to Tara's point, there to tire us out so that we don't go anywhere together. And I'm not getting caught up in that. I have a publication, and the name is failing me right now, but I'll put it in the web later. But there is a publication that has come out that will drop in the early afternoon a full list of all of the crazy things he and the regime have done throughout the day, so that you don't have to watch CNN all day. Remember,
Yeah.
Trump becoming president is also to sell ads in
Right.
between the ridiculous things he's done. He undid all of those laws and all of us intentionally, so there's something to talk about nonstop on the news cycle for the next 4 years. Just be mindful of this, folks, and don't fall for the
And
trap of it.
and there's a time and a space for no. I'm going to take that back. Independent news is where it's at. I'll also recommend Under the Desk News, who is reformulating their drops to coincide, like to just give you the information, but to not like overwhelm you. I think they drop videos once or twice a day. And then they also have Good News Fridays. So they do a whole segment of good news that happened during the week. And you can also watch Don Lemon. He's live twice a day over on YouTube and on TikTok. So those
Also,
are
read Davidson Local via email and also
yep.
online, because all
Yep.
of these free press and independent news cycles are like going to be giving us more of the truth than the propaganda machine
Yeah.
upstairs.
And I'm going to try to curate like a TikTok video, Instagram video, something news type of thing on my own Substack, which I will of course share with Love and Action Network as well. But I just got to get I got to get through one of these things that I'm doing right now for one of my jobs before I start doing that. But there will be places to find the news and places to have a space to hold space together, because we need it and listening to each other. So the affirmation and mantra of the root chakra is I am. So if you're with us in the comment section, wherever you are, feel free to drop into the comment section what you are. I am blank. Also, I want to lead you all through a meditation and affirmation session really quick. It's really quick. If you feel comfortable and you're not driving a car like my child, close your eyes and we're going to do 2 sets of breathing. Uh-oh, the Taco Bell has arrived. I think we're going to do 2 sets of 4. So we're going to breathe in for 4, breathe out for 4, breathe in for 4, breathe out for 4. And we are going to, in that, visualize roots growing from your body into the earth and anchoring you in the present moment. You can also say over yourself and to your surroundings, I am grounded and I listen with my full presence. So here we go. 4 beats in, 4 beats out, 4 beats in, 4 beats out. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to your presence. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome back. Dr. Flo is present with that taco. I opened my eyes. Dr. Flo is eating. He's hungry. Present to his needs.
It is so good. I'm meditating on cheese and lettuce and beef.
I actually really now want like a 12-pack of tacos. We might get that for lunch. Although I already ate lunch, but I might get it again.
Say I will always share.
Thank you so much. Whenever we meet in person, y'all, we're gonna be the best Judies. You can't stop us when we're in person, okay?
You cannot stop the beat.
All right. Oh, okay. This is an interesting challenge. Have a conversation today where you focus entirely on listening without thinking about a response. Focus entirely on listening without thinking of a response. And I think that's so key also right now as we're talking about the chaos in the world of, we don't need to always give our 2 cents, and we don't, like I was saying earlier, we don't need to care about everything. I think it was her handle is the Reclaimed, but her name is Whitney. I think it was her that was talking about how, like, in a previous iteration of news media and life and politics, we had experts and we listened to the experts and we just shared the experts. It wasn't that we all had to go do all of the research to become an expert on every little thing so that we could have like formulate an opinion. Like this whole, like, while I agree with it, I also am like, pause, like telling people to go research and educate themselves sometimes sends them down an alt-right pipeline that they don't need to be going down. So like we need to provide the actual resources for them in whatever situation, those of us that are educated on certain things. And I'm not educated on everything. I'm educated on a lot of things.
We say go educate yourself, and they come back as a flat earther.
Right. It's, and so like I think sometimes we consume information only to be like, well, so and so wouldn't have done this, or I wouldn't have done this, and this is what I believe. And it's like, can we just listen to something? Like sometimes I listen to MAGA people not to respond, because I'm not going to fight with those people. They don't deserve my time. I just want to know what you're saying, because like I know it's crazy. I know you ain't going to listen to me if I say something. So like I'm just listening. I'm literally just listening, and that's it. Right? That was an email from y'all. Remember sometime last year we figured out how to pronounce the word EPOCH. It's epic, not epoch. It's not epoch, it's epic. Yes, right? See, I listen to you not to respond because I don't know what you're saying. Exactly. You are so great. And you're doing so awesome with your piano playing.
Loved and
Thank you so
lovable.
much.
I think they're going to be a virtuoso.
I think so too. They're already making concertos on the piano. Okay.
There's something about the banging that happens that early. I mean, when I was that age, I had a baby piano, and then I turned into a baby piano player. So, like, it's possible.
I don't think that this kid, I think unfortunately for my children, all of them will be some kind of musical because their mom is. Um, Yet to be seen if they'll be sporty. Are you going to be sporty? And it depends on the sport too, because like my husband was like a cross country skier, track, like, bowling. I was like yeah, daddy's coming to get you because you're being loud. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was
So there
I
could
was
be some winter sports in there, but then you also did like the whole rugged, like outdoorsy sports. So
I did volleyball, and then I did choir. That's a whole sport. That's a contact sport. It's a contact sport.
the most contact.
The most contact. Do you have a story, Dr. Flo, of how grounded listening created safety and trust in a relationship?
Yes, off the top of my head, because for some reason I'm sharp today. I don't know why. Uh, but yes and no. We know why. I'm super sharp today. Um, I was working in Virginia for Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and there was a gentleman who was in the band who had invited his girlfriend onto the campus for the weekend. Um, Things escalated because she was not happy with him in the relationship there, and we heard a bunch of yelling and screaming, and it turned into the Maury show on the campus there. And I removed him from the situation because the authorities were being called. And I had picked up on that early in the situation. I removed him from the situation and pulled him into my room and just reminded him that he was present, and that I was present with him. And no matter whether the cops came or they didn't come, or no matter what was said, he was protected and he was safe and he was secure with me. And despite all the yelling that was happening out in the parking lot, if he would just trust me and ground himself and listen to me, he would be okay. Because you didn't want the cops coming into a chaotic situation. You wanted the cops to find someone who was on the other side of it. The call was when it was volatile. But sometimes just listening to people and reminding them that they have an ally in you. Now, we're not going to go beat up someone together, but I can get you into your I am enough so that you can remain safe and then trust your next moves for it. That's part of the clarity coaching thing I do. But it was the first story that came up about a situation being so volatile. People do get harmed by the police calling for domestic issues. And just to separate him out and to hear him outside of the noise in the situation and about him in the situation was so good to build safety and trust. What about you?
I think I think that I do this. I was like trying to find a specific example, but I think there's a reason why a lot of
For me every day.
right. Well, there's a lot like there's a reason why so many people trust me, like, and that is just because like I'm a great listener. But even like build the table, right? That was an instance where I brought a group of people together that were very dissimilar to each other, but had like maybe one or two things in common. That felt safe enough in that environment to share things that they wouldn't. There's that number two. Oh, that's the crunch wrap. There's the crunch wrap, you guys. Are you putting fire sauce on this? Tell us your process.
I need to talk to the manager because I have a conspiracy that we can talk about in Deconstruction Junction. I've talked about it before. I think they leave the sauces off of the Uber Eats order to make us buy it by the bottle in the store.
I don't use Uber Eats. I use the Taco Bell app. and the Taco Bell app allows you to get specific numbers of
And
sauces.
they deliver it off of the Taco Bell app?
Yes.
Everybody, today I learned.
Stop everything. Listening actively. Active listening, not to respond, but to get the sauces, to get the Taco Bell sauces.
So today we're doing Angie's Texas Pete hot sauce with the Taco Bell, which makes me just as happy.
Thank you, Angie. We love you.
We love you. She's actually over here on TikTok in the room. We love you so much.
I figured that's who you were waving at. Hi, Angie.
Yes. I don't wave at everybody, child.
But we wave at Angie.
Yes.
Angie. Yeah, so I feel like I don't have a specific example other than knowing that I'm a good listener because I'm also often tagged in as an accomplice. I'm often brought into spaces simply to listen. Dr. Flo does this a lot, is bringing me into a space as a just a observer, and co-conspirator and collaborator, of course, but a lot to just be there and be present. And I've done that for years for people. So, do you have? We're winding down, so I just wanted to make sure that you.
It's important that we bear witness to one another, whether that's personally or professionally. The reason why Tara has been called in addition to being our managing operations partner and producer and all around great time, I call her in these days because having someone that's there to listen brings the crazy down. I'm able to leave the discussion not to shit talk necessarily, but to go, did you hear that in the same way? Because I'm a man. I'm a black man here. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Oh my God. I saw a TikTok video that used that sound and I was like, it didn't die.
Surprise, surprise. So surprise, surprise. I'm a black man, which means that I'm a man, which means that a lot of the times I'm listening defensively. I've been trained in this culture to take everything personally, sometimes as an attack, and to listen defensively, and sometimes not to the end of the sentence before defending myself. And that's because I'm an American man. Doesn't matter what the color is.
Proud to be an American, and at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died. There were trans people there too, by the way, gave their lives to me, and I proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today. But there ain't no doubt I love this land. And I'll give it back to the Native Americans.
Give it back to them. We stole it and colonized it. Listen, folks, if I simply give people back what they are owed, but also drop my defenses when I am listening, I'm able to actually restore safety and trust in the relationship in the moment. Yes. In the moment, by simply just saying, I don't know everything. And by having Tara in the room, just to button that up, she's often times able to say, Dr. Flo, I think they actually want to help. Dr. Flo, I don't think they're trying to harm you. Dr. Flo, I understand that you would usually be quick to cut this type of person, but I think that this situation is different. You have to have listeners in the room and people who have your back in the room so they can hear the lack of offended nature of a person when you're hell-bent on being offended.
Right, and hell-bent on the experience that you've already had in the world, right? And it's when you've had so many experiences that are the same, it's like, well, how could this situation actually be different? So I totally get that. And I think that, you know, to close here, that and bring it back to the root chakra, grounding ourselves, meaning like what I did this morning of I didn't even go look for normally when I wake up, I go look for notifications from my friend Clara, notifications from Dr. Flo, and then I go to my Facebook memories. That's like the process that I do. So this morning I didn't even go look for Dr. Flo. I was like, I presume he's alive. And if he's not, I guess rutabaga, you know.
If not, I'm planning a funeral.
Right. I got I got the keys. I guess we're
More
going.
work to do.
Right. So when we're grounded in ourselves, we're able to listen fully present, which builds trust and connection with those that we want to be in community with. And community, don't get it twisted, y'all. Community is going to be what gets us through this, what gets us through the global right-wing, authoritarian, oligarchical, fascist governments, is going to be what gets us through this era. Community, a refusal to lose that. And then I want to encourage you today to reflect on or have one conversation where you listen fully. You're present to that conversation. You're listening fully, which will not be happening in the football games, but have it somewhere else, because that comes on. I looked at the clock. It happened 6 minutes. Breakout room 1. We're taking down the Eagles. And
She said be listened to, but she's always been this way, y'all. You will get Tara's undivided time, talent, treasure, and attention anytime in life except
NFL football.
During football. You can go and see about yourself, leave a message at the beep. She'll be back in 3 hours. Or commercial breaks if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Speaking of commercial breaks, go to the new and improved. And if you've been on the website recently, just refresh it a good time because it's new. It's got love and action. I don't even think this is there you go. It's new. I had to refresh it myself. You can now leave a voice message for Dr. Flo there. I'll be playing them on Love and Action Radio. You can listen to Love and Action Radio beneath. Go to our events calendar where Tara and I maintain an amazing calendar of events that are going until I rutabaga and beyond. Daily calling for justice for Charles McNair. My birthday, February 8th, is actually on a Saturday this year. Who knew?
It's the day before the Super Bowl. It's going to be a party weekend. Join us.
Oh my God, Super Bowl Flo birthday party weekend.
Oh my God. We're going to have so much good food, you guys. So much good food.
We gonna eat. We gonna eat.
We're going to eat.
Super fan leaderboards there. Let's do some thank yous here. This week, Tara Praolo Studio in the top spot, 1,470 points. And then Petal's mom, which is Angie, 175. Grateful all the time. Tara, all-time points, 4,685. Petal's mom, Angie, 2,210 points. Poppy Waters on the list. Her Story True, Legion Slayer, Anasora, Apostle Porta, Creative Says. Thank y'all so much for being awesome. Y'all can check out my daily live stream feed on TikTok and Twitch through the links that are there. Justice for Charles. Tara, did you want to speak to this really quickly before we get out of here?
Yeah, Justice for Charles. So we, right now, we're calling the governor and emailing the governor to ask simply where his stance is on clemency and actually getting that office up and running. It appears to be not a priority, but Charles has been in jail for 16,487 days as of this morning, and it is high time him and 70 others get out of jail for some crimes that we know are just racist. It's a problem in North Carolina.
And Charles was charged before they enacted fair sentencing. The year that North Carolina brought on fair sentencing, meaning we cannot send you to jail for 25 years for stealing a loaf of bread, Jean Valjean. Like, they cleaned this up, but because they cleaned it up at the same time that they were trying to hang Charles from the proverbial and present lynching tree that is North Carolina, for me and for him, he did not get fair sentencing. And this has to be looked into why Charles and countless people of all varieties and backgrounds are not being treated fairly. Same thing goes for nonviolent drug offenses and things like this. These people should not have their whole lives thrown away because white people want to make an example of their person in the world. For so many years here, for decades, people were told that if they stepped out of line, that they would go the way of Charles McNair. That energy is still here and present in my life. People want to make me feel here in Lexington, North Carolina, like I'm going to go the way of Charles McNair. I'm a law-abiding citizen and a happy hippie. I'm not going to nobody's jail for 44 years. Y'all can suck a bag of dicks on this live today. I'm not going to nobody's jail. I literally eat Crunchwrap Supremes in the house while hanging with my good Judies in Pennsylvania and Minnesota. I'm not going to do anything, and I don't fuck white women anymore, and I don't have tools in the bed and all this other bullshit they made up about him in 1979. I don't do those things. Y'all going to have to try really, really hard to catch me in some bullshit. So because I'm not going to be going the way of Charles, the way y'all want to do, and because I will not see him hang from this tree, something has to be done about it. And this is going to require the well-meaning white people to support and protect, and also the black people who go, it's such a shame, while living daily in the shame of not expressing themselves and being afraid of their environment. I just refuse, as a reporter here, as a citizen here, as a light worker here, as a teaching artist here, I refuse to live in fear and paranoia in the ways that they tried to set forth 44 years ago with Charles and his friends, who all have stories of being made an example of because of white fragility. He's still being made an example of because of white fragility. We reject that today and every day going forward. And we've been rejecting it if y'all catch our lives. We got 400 episodes of rejecting white mediocrity and the way it places us in chains and makes itself look further stupid. Let me get, this is why I take my blood pressure pill the way that the good white doctor prescribed, because it's crazy. We have a current fundraiser right now that we're working on to build the Love Experience and its musical theater workshop. Adopt a Black Artist is coming back. I've got a few artists in pipeline that I want to add to Tara's list to feature this week. And you can also RSVP, get your tickets for our live events. Join our free Discord server to tap into all kinds of crazy and fun conversations. Check out our programs, classes, communications channels, the newsletter that features Tara and I, in addition to the podcast and radio show. Meet our team, resource pages. I mean, it goes on and on, y'all. Do not pretend like we are not the ancestors' dream up in here. Tara and I have been working for over 3 years remote to bring you the best of us. And it's on full. Show them your wares, bitch. Show them your wares, bitch. You can land it, Tara. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all give it up for Tara Praolo Studio for hanging with my song, Smile, Support, and Shenanigans for over 3 years. There have been so many who talked a good game, but Tara puts her time, talent, and treasure and her dick on the table. And I love it. Fully. Balls and all on the table every day for love. And when she doesn't feel like it, I'm like, where's it at?
Where'd it go? So, on behalf of Andre and the Flow, Papi Wata 33, our other practitioner who we haven't mentioned, but Papi Wata 33, and me, Tara Praolo Studio, on all the platforms that matter, continue to be anti-racist. Be safe, wear a mask, make good trouble, do good work. I love y'all hardcore. You are loved and lovable, and ain't nobody can change that. Joy is our revolution. Step into it and belong to it, and we will see you